Sonko is facing corruption charges and has been barred from accessing his office until his case is heard. He has denied any wrongdoings. Nairobi County lawmakers are also expected to debate a motion to impeach him, which has been tabled in the local assembly. The United Nations has appealed for more funds to tackle the unprecedented invasion of locusts threatening crops in parts of Africa and Asia. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, said a food crisis could be looming in East Africa if more resources are not deployed. Thus, it appealed to donors for additional $62 million. The Director General, Q Dongu, says the next few weeks will be critical. Control operations against locusts are underway in 13 countries, from India in the east all the way across to Mauritania in West Africa, while the main threats are in East Africa and Yemen, as well as the Gulf states, Iran, Pakistan, and India. Hong Kong will hand out cash to adult permanent residents to help boost spending and ease financial burden. As part of the annual budget, $10,000 Hong Kong dollars was announced for about 7 million people over the age of 18. The territory's economy has been battered by months of violent political unrest and more recently suffered from the impact of the coronavirus. The city has had 81 confirmed cases of the virus and 2 deaths. The nation's financial secretary, Paul Chan, said Hong Kong's economy is facing enormous challenges this year. 3 baboons have stunned onlookers in Sydney, Australia, after escaping from their cage inside a hospital. The primates, bred for medical research, had been transferred to the Royal Prince Alfred RPA hospital, so one could have a vasectomy. After making their way outside, the baboons were later captured in a nearby building. Health officials in the United States have warned Americans to brace for the inevitable, the spread of the coronavirus disease that is sweeping the world. There are 53 confirmed cases in the United States, and officials are calling on Congress to urgently pass billions of dollars to fund the response efforts. President Trump had claimed that the spread of coronavirus was well under control. In the meantime, several European countries have announced their first coronavirus cases, with all appearing to be linked to the growing outbreak in Italy. Austria, Croatia, and Switzerland said the cases involved people who had been to Italy and did Algeria in Africa. The first positive virus test has been recorded in Latin America. A Brazilian resident just returned from Italy. Italy had in recent days become Europe's worst affected country, with more than 300 cases and 11 deaths. You're still on to news around the world on Pensioners 106.7 FM. We'll be back with entertainment and sports stories. Please stay tuned. You're welcome back, and now to the entertainment scene. The Ataoja of Oshogbo Land, Oba Jimoh Olanipekun, has revealed that the year 2020 annual Oshogbo Festival will be a double celebration. Oba Olanipekun said that the celebration of the annual festival in August this year will lead to the 10th coronation anniversary of his ascension to the throne of his forefathers in September. In a statement by the prompter of Oshun Oshogbo Festival in Ibadan, Mr. Toye Arulogun, the royal father noted that activities marking the 2020 edition of the festival will commence in March 2020 with a stakeholders roundtable aimed at identifying and getting the inputs of partners and other stakeholders for the 2020 double celebrations. He said that the festival committee is working round the clock to ensure that this year's festival is a huge success with great tourism benefits to the Osun state government and the federal government at large. Oba Oyetunji expressed appreciation to the sons and daughters of Osogbo for their support and understanding towards him since his reign as the Ataoja in 2010. The traditional ruler said that he is very optimistic that Osogbo and the Osun Grove, a World Heritage Site by United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO, will play host to a higher number of devotees, participants and tourists during this year's festival and the celebration of a decade of his coronation. Meanwhile, Grammy Award-winning singer Duffy has revealed she was drugged and raped after being held captive by an attacker. The 35-year-old Welsh star posted on a verified Instagram account that her recovery took time. The performer, who had a United Kingdom number, one single Mercy in 2008, wrote to her 33,000 followers that she was raped, drugged and held captive for some days, adding that she's okay and safe now. Duffy, whose debut album, Rockefeller, went 7 times platinum as it went to number 1 in 6 countries, won 3 Brit Awards and a Grammy following her breakthrough. Now to the world of sports. LeBron James has scored a season-high 40 points as the Los Angeles Lakers beats the New Orleans Pelicans 118 to 109. The 3-time NBA champion scored 16 points in the third quarter, while teammate Anthony Davis finished with 21 points. Pelicans rookie Zion Williamson played the Lakers for the first time, scored 29 points. Williamson, 19, who was the number 1 draft pick, missed the first 44 games of the season with a knee injury. But in his 13 games since his debut in late January, he was averaged 23.3 points a game and scored 20 points or more in 11 games. The Lakers have now won 6 in a row and led the Western Conference with 44 wins and 12 losses, while the Pelicans are 10th and 3 wins away from the last playoff spot. To end the news around the world, here is a recap of the main stories. Nigeria federal government said it will intensify efforts to tackle infrastructural deficits in the country. Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta to take over Nairobi County administration. United States health officials has raised alarm over coronavirus. And in sport, it was brought to you that LeBron James has scored a season-high 40 points as Los Angeles Lakers beat the New Orleans Pelicans. For any information, reach us on these mobile numbers 0802 2373 535 or 0812 1889 462. Do well to visit us at Pensioners House, Agbarigo, Onireke, Ibadan. The news editor is Yetunde Oke. On behalf of the production crew, my name is Bilkis ISHOLA TAIWO. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.
From the rising to the setting of the sun, here is the first labor radio in Africa. Pensioners
106.7 FM.
Agbarigo Nireke.
Regina, how do you describe a good radio station?
Oh, it should educate, give information, and entertain.